Hello, my name is Brian Kirsch, and in the previous videos we talked about the Synology frame I had set up, and we went over how to use it and all that. Now, what I populated it with was actual spinning disks, and I know a lot of people, immediately gravitate towards SSD, or if you're really doing something a little bit higher end, NVMe. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about why people choose different disks, what the purpose is, and why the fastest thing might not be the most ideal for your environment. One of the things is per gig, SSD is still costs more than spinning disk. That's just a reality. And obviously NVMe is quite a bit more than spinning disk. The thing is, we always look at what do we need. When we talk about storage, the first thing that people always snap to is capacity. And really, your first question's got to be not capacity, but performance. If you have a use case for just holding a library of music or files or something, putting that on SSD can actually cause you some issues. And what I mean by that is it's a cost issue. Why do you need the high-tier disk for a music library that maybe you sync to a phone or something that just sits there? It's not bad data, but it's kind of dead data where you use it, it's as a backup, what have you, but you're not actively using it. So why spend all that money to put in for that higher tier disk when a spinning disk would have actually worked out pretty well and you didn't really have a performance concern? And that's always the question when it comes to disks. I need the bigger disk, I need, all that stuff. Well, you got to size it for what you're trying to do with it. And a lot of times you're dealing with just stale data that you keep, that you want to sort through and hopefully get rid of one day and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you never do. You tend to leave it there and it sits and it just doesn't go away. And that's a big problem. That's a huge problem. So when you look at different applications, and like right now I've got these disks up here. When you look at it, make sure you don't just right size the capacity. Take a look at your application. Decide what you're doing with it. You might have multiple I/O needs. You might be having NVMe for certain parts and then for more longer term stuff, spinning disk. You might have to size that manually. Sure, if you have a larger storage frame in that, you can do auto tiering in that, that's great. But auto tiering, one, is pricey. It's not exactly a free feature in most arrays, and definitely not something you're going to find in the smaller ones. Number two, if you're going to do auto tiering, you got to put all those types of storage in there and hope you get that balance and that mix right. That's one thing to do at a company. That's a completely different thing to do at a home level in that. So utilize your storage for the ideal needs, and take advantage of something like a Synology frame or an external frame and use that for parking some of your data that you don't necessarily use, but you want to keep, photos, things like that. And utilize your SSD or NVMe in your main rigs for, processing. If you're a gamer, do it that way. Movie editing, that kind of stuff. That way then you're concentrating what you're trying to do with it, and you're getting kind of the best bang for the buck out of what you spent into that storage. So again, it's not all about capacity. You got to look at the I/O, the IOPS. Once you do that, you get a handle on what you need. Then you determine, I need, terabyte here, a terabyte there, and then you can actually start targeting it and actually save yourselves a little bit of money. So that's really the key with this. So again, thank you for watching. My name is Brian Kirsch. Enjoy.